Il nome mio è Natale Pozzo. My role was cake decorate, take care of the bag, pastry cake.
Il nome mio è Pietro Bozzo. My role was in the retail and the store end, and I took care of sales.
So io sono Joe Bozza,
Peter, what was your role?
jack of all trade.
We came from Italy in March 1960. We come from Cosenza, Calabria, Italy.
I started to work in Italian, one of the first Italian bakery in Toronto called SanRemo Bakery. Mimico, there was a friend of mine who was to work over here. He had to go on vacation and I covered for him part-time to do the cakes, pastry. In the meantime, the owner wants to sell the place. I buy the place in the summer of 1969. SanRemo been all on the same spot since then.
We were 3 employees, the 3 partners, the 3 brothers. SanRemo, Italy is a place where they have a musical festival competition every year. And because the songs were continuously SanRemo, SanRemo, we named it after SanRemo, Italy.
I worked in Dominion at one time, and that's when I met him.
I used to come and buy bread way back in the days when I was a young girl, and Mr. Magoo here used to sweep the floors outside just to see it, and so we got together that way.
I used to buy pizza for lunch, and one day he made me a free pizza. So that's how we started.
I used to get free ice creams, yes.
I got into the business with him, we got married, and I've supported my husband since I met him.
As a kid, I remember my mom standing on the porch, blowing her whistle like a dog at us when she wanted us. My dad would call to work, so we'd have to run home, get on the Mississauga Transit.
As a kid growing up, I was always working.
My first memory of the bakery, sleeping on flour bags as a little kid.
I bring my son to work and let us sleep on the top of a bag of flour. Well, in the beginning, they was young and they want to do something for 10 minutes. After 10 minutes, they want to do something else. That one was the hard part to make them, when they was young.
Not that we weren't allowed to do anything, but we were like little kids, we'd be in the way. And, slowly learning decorating cakes, we would do those Bugs Bunny, those character cakes, because my dad hated doing that shit.
I just tried to follow my dad everywhere he went, did whatever he did, whatever he told me to do. Whether it was put a bun in the dinner roll machine or put a Kaiser in the Kaiser machine or
making doilies in the basement, getting a ruler slapped in the back of your head.
The little jobs. And then as you got older, it was the more detailed jobs.
And we just started evolving, learning different things in the business.
See, I was always following my father's footsteps. I was doing mostly cakes.
The uncle I watched the most would be my Uncle Joe. He worked in the back, worked with the bread, all the scratch. So I always took an interest into behind the scenes of the baking.
The jack of all trade means I learned when I started speaking English I was working in the factory. So this guy was older than me and used to be a truck driver, do everything. And I used to tell him, what's your specification? And he said, oh, I do everything. I'm a jack of all trade.
I started to get into the customer service. I remember working in a store with Uncle Peter, and he would keep me beside him, learning to deal with salesmen or learning, how he would talk to people or, little things like that. How do you serve, speaking to people.
He started to take emphasis on the customers by being able to look up to them when they first came in and present himself right away, asking what would they like and what could he do for them and so on. So as days went on and months passed by, he improved continuously. That up to today, I feel that he has proven himself more than what I could imagine.
I actually started learning how to bake, I'd say around 12 years old.
I was 12 years old when I started working with pastry. By the time I was the age of 16, I was able to decorate a cake by myself. The easiest cake was a Black Forest, I remember. I was working up to wedding cakes. So 25 years I was a cake decorator, yes.
Having the family work together created a bond that is just irreplaceable. It's rare nowadays to have a family cooperating like that over a period of time, a long period of time.
Actually, I thought I was gonna go into the construction. I took civil engineering.
When I was in high school, I thought I was gonna be a cop, 100%. When we decided to take over the business from my father and my uncles, it was scary. We didn't want to see the business in anyone else's hands. The bottom line is we saw our father, uncles, we grew up in the business. To see it go to somebody else, we weren't prepared for that.
Yeah, it was a no-brainer.
When I was 18 years old and we took over the business, my role was store manager or running the store. And
I was 25 years old when I took over the business.
Taking over the business at the age of 21 was tough.
Kind of changed my role from working at the table to overseeing the business, I guess, the whole business.
In the bakery, we start anything from 2 o'clock in the morning to 5 o'clock, and they work till 11, 12. And for the owner, it's whenever finished. That it's not exactly hours, you know.
When you're in the back end of the bakery, the mornings are early, the days are long. So when a lot of my friends were out, I was baking. There was no two lives. There was no party life and work life. It was just work. So at the age of 21, it was tough.
that's what I meant by, like, when you would work those long days and you'd see those people walk in and they're all happy and they bring their kids in and, you know, eating an ice cream, and you learn a lot from that. You learn a lot from those emotions when dealing with people, like when seeing that kind of thing and knowing that you can't do it because you're here working, sometimes hating your job and sometimes not understanding, even though you're doing it, not understanding why you're doing it. 20 years down the road, I understand now.
During my time when we took over the business, I tried to keep everything going the same, keeping the grassroots and keeping tradition and pastries, and doing it the way our father did it for the most part. You know, just making sure that things were done to their standard.
I was very happy. My son would continue the business, and different time when you're with your brother than with your kids. It's a different time.
Working with my father at one point was a struggle. I mean, I respect him fully for everything he's done. I respect him for how hard he works every single day. But more so, I think it hurts me more to see him work as hard as he does. Working close to him, me and him are two peas in a pod.
Growing up being a family business, I think one of the challenges was to take it to a certain growth in business.
The difference between running a business 24 years ago to today, how busy the business has become, staffing, the sheer volume of product that we have to push out, and dealing with not only the employees, but the customers.
I mean, there's a lot of responsibility that you have as an owner because you're responsible for, you know, now, for example, 150 people. So you're responsible for 60 full-timers who come to work every day and rely on you or your business to feed their families. So it's not just about me, it's about the responsibility you have to other people.
Yeah, so the biggest challenge right now is, you know, keeping this family environment with the number of employees that we have, basically.
And for me, I'm very fortunate, like with my wife, for example, who's very supportive of me and my lifestyle. You're here, you're providing a better life for your family, and you're providing a better life for your kids. But at the same time, you have to be away from your kids to do that. So it's, you know, how do you create and have that balance of working hard and having all this responsibility of everyone's lives on you and jobs.
My dad works long hours, so I barely ever get to see him, but when he comes home, I'm happy. It's hard because my dad's working at the bakery a lot, but it's for our good, for our future. But it's fun when he comes home at night.
What drives me is my family. What drives me is my brothers.
In life, you go through different challenges and different obstacles in your life, and sometimes as a family, when you stick together and you go through those obstacles, that's something that I'm proud of, that we can stick together through the thick shit.
Working with my brothers, it has its challenges, but we all have our own dynamic. We have managed to make it work. That's all.
It's not easy. I mean, there's 3 heads that have 3 different ideas sometimes, and 3 stubborn heads that have different heads, and maybe you want to go this way, and this guy wants to go that way, and he wants to go that way, and how do you convince all 3 heads to be on the same plate? One is, truthfully, always one head is always the head of the dragon. When you have like a 3-headed dragon, there's one like head that's kind of like the mainstay. The one in the middle is kind of the one that's kind of, and that was like Nick. So truthfully, he was the one that kind of always came up with the ideas or came up with this, and that's kind of like, he was kind of more the level-headed person, where me and Eddie were more the hot-headed people, kind of.
We all got different heads. Different heads, different opinions, different ideas. But we make it work.
I mean, we spend 18 hours a day here, so after that, you really don't want to spend time with your siblings or whoever the hell it is.
Hell, we don't want to see each other after this place.
I have my 3 granddaughters and I have my 2 grandsons that they come and help whenever the father, Robert, brings them to the bakery.
When I come to work with my dad, I like to help with donuts, cakes, and pastries. When my dad brings us to the bakery on weekends or on PA days, I like to work on cash and help people out, ordering in their food.
I bring my sons on Saturday to the bakery because I think it's important as a parent to teach my kids work ethic.
So seeing my kids here to grow and to learn and as a part-time job or even as a full-time job, to put their feet on the ground, it's an unbelievable experience for a father and I believe for my kids.
It's interesting when we come to work at the bakery because all of our family on our dad's side works there. So we get to see everybody in our family whenever we go there.
When you bake or mixing, or you need the pinch of love.
The thing about baking today, or to be successful in a business today, running the business today is basically keeping up with what we started with. 24 years ago till today, matter of fact, when my dad started, till today, which is 50 years, the recipes are the same. Everything is still done by hand. We haven't changed the recipes. We haven't gone to any state-of-the-art equipment. The real machines in here are our hands.
Italians are the best, first of all. We're proud. It's my heritage, man. It's our backbone. It's who we are. It's my grandfather coming over, from Italy and trying to start a new life for his family, and that it all means something. They didn't come here for nothing. They came here for a reason.
It's very important to make homemade, all by hands, and better product.
Quality is standing. The name, I need to associate quality with our name. There's no, everything that comes in this door, I taste it and I don't like it, we're not selling it.
Baking, I like everything because we do everything by scratch. And when you see the product come out from the oven good, that's what's making you really happy.
We had a book with all the recipe in order to start making stuff. Otherwise, if you forget, you can make a mess. So we had to be very careful, read and scale. The first thing we always scale it.
It's very important we keep the Italian tradition alive to generation that coming. The important thing is to give it that quality and make the customer happy when you go home happy, smile, because that's what you want. Because the customer, now we serve customer 1 generation, 2nd, 3rd generation, they keep it come back. Even if they live far away, they move, they still come back, holidays or a special occasion or whatever. And you're very happy when you see customer come back time after time after time.
SanRemo Bakery is good old-fashioned Italian bakery, just taken up a couple of levels, that's what I would say. You know, taking over a family business is not easy. I mean, it was you have a certain expectation to build up to, or especially not expectation, or an expectation to meet. You know, it's to fulfill, you know, what they did, what they did starting to grow, what they needed to do to make the business where it is today.
Our brand is not SanRemo. SanRemo is just a name. The brand is me, Nick, and Eddie. The brand is us three doing what we need to do every day on a daily basis. And
SanRemo Bakery being a family business, I think one of those things I strive for is for me to have, you know, a SanRemo product on every kitchen table. I mean, that's for me is the biggest thing.
I'm one of three brothers. Again, you know, I'm very proud of everything that we've accomplished. I'm proud of everything we've done. Climbing to the top of the mountain is the easiest thing you can do. Staying on top of the mountain is the hard part.
I got a constant need to push things further. I think it stems from my father.
50 years to me means holy shit.
50 years means the world because we all protected each other, we all bonded with each other, and that's something that nobody can take away from us. That's our special connection.
First of all, I want to say thank you to all the customers, and that's from the guy that walked in here and spent 10 cents to the guy that came in here and spent $5,000. Without those people, we wouldn't be where we are today.
So a big thank you to all the customers, all the support from everybody. Big thank you to my brothers. A huge thank you to my father to making all this possible.
Is to show appreciation, and that's the whole reason, you know, for this 50th anniversary party that we want to do is to say thank you to everybody that helped us be where we are today.
Oh, I'm incredibly proud of what the boys have accomplished. They brought the bakery to a whole new level in modern days, from the social media aspect to their products and the delicious things that are produced. And I'm extremely proud of the boys and what they've done.
No, I'm very happy, and we still a family, okay? I don't think too many families stick together because our priority is not money, it's the respect of one another.
Nephews have done a wonderful job. We're really proud and stand by them and give whatever support we can possibly give because they couldn't have done any more. It's just amazing.
I'm very happy that they did excellent job. I cannot be any more happy than I am.
Yeah, we wouldn't be where we were today if it was just us three. That's not the case at all. We have a lot of people helping us.
The last but not the least, I would like to tell the boys and the father and the rest of the family, including the mother, one big thank you from my family and giving me opportunity to prove myself that I can work the best I can do in my ability. Somebody asked me why I end up here 25 years, which is half of my life. The first, I would say to them that I found here what I lost back home. When I started working with the boys, I found not just that I love my job, I love the environment working with them. And I think that's what kept me here, and I truly love what I'm doing, and that's probably what makes my job easier.
I think it's important for SanRemo to stay here. It's because it's its birthplace. I mean, it just has there's a certain nostalgia that comes with coming here.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's important to be here because people recognize who we are, where we are.
We are the Monsters!
I bring my kids here on Saturdays, and that's important to me because what I find people lack today, and I mean everybody.
Okay, restart, reset button.
Why? We keep renovate. Say, what's the fucking question?
So I want to get at. You're the middle brother.
I'm the baby brother.
You're the baby brother. So describe to me what.
I'm the middle brother, really?
Hey, calm down. You're the baby brother.
Fucking don't think.
Say it now.
Happy Dawn Day.
Okay, you ready? Jenna, what are you?
An idiot sandwich. How long you've worked at the bakery and what your position is?
What kind of position do I have?
You're the manager.
Robert, Nick, and Eddie.
Go ahead.
Holidays are crazy. We all have our own roles now, especially over the last few years. It's changed. Eddie comes really early in the morning to do. Starts at night now. Robert comes in a little bit later, and I just gotta stay at everybody's hair. Start cleaning. Because I make everybody nervous, apparently.
I don't know. I just want to see before you put there if
No, that's not happening.
if I'm okay with my body, because I'm with the body very cold.
You look great. Okay, on three. 1, 2, 3.
We are the Baltzos.
Again or good? And now.
We are the Baltzos.
All right, that was better.
We can do it again the third time.